in corporate America, we see there's a much greater tolerance for generic models for how to approach leadership in an organization. In Silicon Valley, what we saw was that there are two things which were really important to leaders. One, is it data-driven? Two, does it come out of our culture? Is it culture specific? As one of the people out there told us, if it's not specific to our culture, people will reject it. So here's a couple of examples of what that can look like in practice. The first one is called Project Oxygen from Google. So a team at Google spent a year going out and analyzing the data, plus observing the highest performing leaders to see what is it that those leaders do differently from everyone else, and what can you see in the data about the patterns of how they're behaving differently. They ended up working out there are 8 concrete behaviors these leaders do, which differentiates them, and they put them in order of importance from 1 through 8. In the process, they also discovered there are 3 pitfalls, which if leaders did, they are likely to get themselves in trouble or derail. They gathered this information and data and taught that to the other leaders in the organization such that people knew, here's how you get ahead in our culture. A second approach you can take is to work out what are the greatest challenges which leaders are facing at different levels of the organization. So one project we did at CCL was we looked at 300 leaders from 3 different levels of the organization, from the 100 leaders from the C-suite, 100 leaders who were senior executive, and 100 leaders who were in the middle of the organization. And we asked each leader, what's the 3 biggest challenges you face at your level of the organization? We ended up with 900 different answers, and then we coded them to see which ones were the most frequent. What are the biggest challenges leaders are facing at different levels of the organization? This allowed us to really concentrate our resources on helping people solve what's on their plate as they go through different stages of their career. What would it look like for you to gather some data about leaders in your organization, or observe them, or really try and find out what are their greatest challenges at different stages, and place all your bets around solving those problems just in time?